All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. My name is Polzin. You can follow me at 9to5 Sports. Going to be breaking down this Saturday 4-game slate. It is a smaller slate, but I think a lot of attention is going to be on NFL today, so there should be a little bit of an edge here with this NBA DFS slate. So I'm kind of excited for it. At the same time, it is one that kind of looks difficult on paper. We'll go ahead and break down the reasons why right now. So where I want to start is actually going to be with the Chicago Bulls. We need to get news on Alex Caruso. If Alex Caruso is to sit tonight, that is going to open up some value, and that does kind of alleviate some stress with the lineup process today. Now, he sat out last game, and the question is, did he sit out last game because it was the front end of a back-to-back, or did he sit out because he's truly injured? That is the biggest question that we need answered. If he were to sit, both AO, and he's a little bit more risky, and Kobe White, and I like Kobe White a little bit more just given his price tag, would be players that I think we could go out and target. Okay, White's been given, not terrible results, not great results, but at 3.3 on a small 4-game slate, that is something that I think we could take. It's not something that we particularly love, but that is kind of the nature of this slate. So looking at Mike Conley, I do think Mike Conley is going to be a pretty good play on this slate as well. He is someone that shot the ball terribly last game. 3 for 10, 1 for 5 from 3-point range. Okay. And I would say, I don't know if there's going to be any props out there, but I would like Mike Conley over 1.5 3-pointers if that one's going to be out there. And I'm writing that down for the props video that I've been coming out with. And I just typically like to target players like that coming off of a poor shooting night. Chances are they're going to shoot better, but love the fact that he was still able to get to 30 DK points with a poor night shooting. That is a highly encouraging sign. And then Jordan Clarkson just been really reliable, and the price point is starting to tick up there. I've kind of mentioned Laurie marketing rule. Well, it's kind of fallen into Jordan Clarkson a little bit, where we keep rostering him until the price point matches the production, and it's starting to get there now. I said 7.4 was the number we were shooting for, and that was 3 weeks ago. Now he's finally there. Okay, but he's been highly consistent. Once again, on a small 4-game slate, I'd be fine doing that. And this is a game, that game with Chicago is going to be a game that you want to target. It has the second highest over and under at 239. The highest over and under is going to be the Kings versus the Lakers, which could be an appealing game as well. Looking at the guard situation for the Lakers, we can see they are pretty banged up. Okay, Lonnie Walker's still out, and also Reeves is still out. Reeves has been someone that was playing a lot of minutes though. Okay, so let's look at what happened last game. Well, we've seen Dennis get a lot more minutes recently. Okay, he's been getting a lot of shot attempts. The price point is starting to get up there, but given the matchup, given the high over and under, it wouldn't be shocking to see him have a good game. At the same time, I do think we are most likely going to get a performance like this, where he scores a lot of actual points, but DFS wise might not be that great. For him to be a great DFS play, we kind of need LeBron or Westbrook to sit. And speaking of Westbrook, he has been getting more minutes recently, even with LeBron there. And I think it just might be because of the guard situation right now. He was someone that for a while there was not getting the minutes, and was someone that, I was saying for a while is a great GPP play if those minutes get there, because it was pretty random that those minutes weren't there for him. Now we've seen him go for over 40 DK points throughout the last 4 slates. Okay, and he's gotten almost 30 minutes 4 straight games now. Okay, so that is highly appealing to me. That's going to mean that he has a nice safe floor, and given the matchup with the Kings, that's going to be a great matchup to me. Russell Westbrook is someone we need to be going out of our play, just assuming that those minutes are still going to be there, just giving the ceiling that he has. I mean, heck, he just went for 50 DK points, almost had a triple-double. So did LeBron in that game, which was pretty fun. So I do need to touch on Luka as well. Luka is currently probable. If he were to sit, obviously Dinwiddie and Christian Wood, you just load up on those two. De'Aaron Fox, pretty consistent player as well. I don't know if we need to lock him in, but he is someone that you could definitely have in your player pool. 1 for 35 against the Lakers the last time out. Okay play. Not something you're going crazy with. I would say I'd rather play CJ McCollum. Just with Ingram on the court and with Zion off the court, he does average 40 fantasy points, has a really high usage rate as well. So with those two off the court, we do expect him to, shoot the ball a lot, especially if his shots are on. If he's making some buckets, he should be a good play. Okay, obviously went for 49 DK points last game. That was highly encouraging. CJ McCollum at 8.5 is you just kind of, all right, I'll take it. 4-game slate, let's just take in those raw points. And what I mean by that is we should be locking in at least 35 DK points, which yes, at this price tag, not going to help you. But at the same time, we could easily be getting 45, should be a solid play. And then the interesting thing for the Golden State Warriors is that Andrew Wiggins is expected to be back, but just how many minutes is he going to play? Okay, we saw Jordan Poole more or less he is average. with Wiggins, with Curry off the court, his average is about 39 fantasy points per 36 with those two off the court. Okay, now with Wiggins back, it's kind of a question mark. I think Wiggins will probably play like 15 minutes or so, kind of ease him back into the rotation. I do think Clay will still be a good play. Now his price point is really starting to rise up, but we can see very consistent. The production has been there. So I think if we get news of the actual minutes restriction for Wiggins, Clay becomes a great play. Okay. If we don't, Clay's a little bit more risky because I could see Wiggins taking up some usage. Like if Wiggins plays 25 minutes, that could mean a lot of usage that's taken away from Clay. But man, look at the shot attempts, guys. Over 20, almost 40, over 20, over 20. Like if he's going to be getting 20 shot attempts, which basically means his shot is on, he's going to go off. Okay. And that's just part of the equation. I mean, obviously anyone can have a poor night shooting. Basically any game this season can be a blowout. Okay. But as long as it stays close, and if it stays close, it's probably because Clay is dominating. And if it doesn't, maybe they're blowing them up because Clay is, draining his shot. So I do think Clay is still going to be the correct play on this slate. Do want to point out that Zach LaVine just went off, and obviously this is a game that does have a high over and under. I don't know if we need to target Zach LaVine, but I do want to point out did have 37 fantasy points against Utah the last time out. So a player you could look at. So I'm curious if Jalen Suggs will play at all today. Only played 5 minutes in the previous game. It was just strange. Obviously, they're trying to work him back. His minutes are going to be limited. And if they are going to be limited to 5 to 10, then Fultz is still in play. Okay. If we get news that Suggs' minutes are going to increase, then Fultz is not, because then they have 3 pretty solid point guard options with Cole Anthony, Fultz, and then also Suggs. For the meantime, I do think if we are still getting around 30 minutes from Markelle Fultz, he is still a good DFS play. He probably still will get 30 fantasy points. And once again, he is someone on Prize Picks where I probably wouldn't mind doing like the points, rebounds, and assists because he's kind of doing it all, which is nice for that aspect of it. Now moving down into the forwards, I do think LeBron James makes a ton of sense going against the Kings. Sure, against Atlanta last game, only got 48 fantasy points. That did kind of hurt you. But once again, this is a small 4-game slate. I think we would lock in 40 points with the upside to go for 59 like he did against the Kings the last time out. So LeBron James just makes a ton of sense. It's pretty close to a triple-double. He's been pretty close to a triple-double a lot lately. Been getting double-doubles as well. So I think LeBron also makes a lot of sense chasing that game, chasing that high over and under. He's a player that I think we should be trying to go out of our way to play. Obviously, with the construction right now, we need to find some value or make some pivots. And that's going to be a natural thing. I'm just showing you guys my top plays right now. I mean, Laurie, he got to the 9K price tag and was like, I'm going to show you guys I should be 10K. After being underpriced the whole season, he's like, no, I'm a 10K player, DraftKings. Just kind of funny there. I mean, the dude has been dominating. I mean, what is going on, Laurie? Do we continue to roster him? Probably not. A game against Chicago, a matchup in which he went for 47 DK points against the last time out. Like, if we get that, I would kind of take that with the upside to really go off. He's not going to go off again like that. I mean, 16 3-pointers made, 15 3-points attempted. That is crazy. Obviously, this matchup, though, is pretty similar to that of Houston last time out. So it really wouldn't be shocking to see Laurie go for like 50. At the same time, his price point is too high now. Tough to roster him at that price tag. Patrick Williams is going to be a good price point play, I think. I mean, he has just been so consistent lately, basically getting 20 DK points. Okay. And that's basically his average as well. But the minutes have been there. He's getting so many minutes, like 30 minutes per game in a game that you want to be attacking. Like, the chances are he is going to get 20 DK points at this price tag. And if no better value opens up, he is someone that I think we can't really pass up on. Now, this price range is actually a decent price point range. So if we get news that Andrew Wiggins is going to be limited, not going to play that many minutes, maybe just 10, then I think we can still roll with Anthony Lamb, who has been kind of a casual, really solid play for us. If we get news that Wiggins isn't going to be limited, then Anthony Lamb is just out of play. Okay. That's really the biggest question mark. And that's kind of seems like the deciding point on this slate, because obviously Anthony Lamb's still in play because Jonathan Kuminga is still going to be out tonight. And then Keegan Murray, basically a better version of Patrick Williams as a play. So he is someone that I think we can firmly look at on this slate. We're trying to find some value at the forward position, and I think it's going to be those two and potentially Anthony Lamb as well. So let's go ahead and get into the centers on tonight's slate. I do think we want to try to fit Sabonis into our builds if we can. Okay, Sabonis has just been going off lately, consistently getting over 50 DK points. Last time out against the Lakers, had a triple-double, messed around and got a triple-double. 62 DK points in that game. I mean, that is pretty darn crazy. Like I said, I think we need to try to go out of our way to play him. And right now, guys, I would kind of treat all these players as core plays, so I'll do that real quick. Like, maybe not Mike Conley, but given the sense that I think he is a solid safe play at his price tag, I like that. And then really, it's like Sabonis, I'm treating as a core play, just like stacking stacking that game. And then if we're stacking that game, Russell Westbrook makes a ton of sense. He could easily go for 50 DK points in this matchup, probably going to go for 40. And then LeBron James could easily go for 50, maybe 60 in this matchup. Like with the bonus with Westbrook and with James, we could easily begin like 150 fantasy points, like halfway to the cash number that we need to hit. And then like CJ McCollum just should be a strong price point play as well. Like if I had to dip down, if I was really trying to target the Kings game, which I think we want to, the Kings-Lakers game, probably dip down from CJ McCollum and unfortunately probably go off of Clay and even maybe Mike Conley as well and trying to fit in the values from there. But let me go ahead and get back into the centers real quick. JaVale had a bad game. Didn't get that many minutes, and he is someone that as a play, he's very much predicated on getting minutes. So, GPP only play because we can't really predict his minutes. Wendell Carter, played fine. Bobo's still out. He still should be getting 30 minutes or so. Still should be a solid play there. Did get into foul trouble as well. So, I feel like whenever players get into foul trouble, they're not playing as well as they typically would. They're playing a little bit more conservatively. So it wouldn't be surprising to see him have a better game. Thomas Bryant, yeah, we can definitely play Thomas Bryant as well. Like if we're trying to game stack this game, which I think we should be, he makes a lot of sense as well. Went for 39 DK points against the Kings as well. So he's another option on the slate that I do think we should be looking at. And this is the difficult part about this slate that we are seeing. Okay. Like, can we make this work? Maybe. Like, is there any guards that we can find to make this work? And that's really it for centers, guys. Looney I'm fine with. Okay. As well, I guess I should mention with Kuminga still out, with Wiggins limited, I do think we could be looking at Looney as well. And maybe you don't play Sabonis and hope that Looney has upside like he has the past two games, 36 and 48 DK points, very close to a double-double in the last game. And maybe that's a way that we open up some salary. Sabonis probably going to go for 50, 60. But if Looney can go for 38 at this price tag, that opens up a lot on the slate, So not a terrible route to go, but then that's it for centers that I like right now. I guess Hernan Gomez has been a strong point per minute player. He could go for 20 at a cheap price tag as well. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of builds here, one with Sabonis and then one with Looney at the center. So right now I'm going to go with Kobe White. Probably shouldn't be a shock to you guys if you guys were paying attention there. So let me put Westbrook at the point guard spot just to make it easier. And then this is White. I'm going with Kobe White, just assuming that Caruso sits. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for, because that does make it a little bit easier to navigate this slate. And then from there, Ty Jerome for the Golden State Warriors. Don't mind him. He has been someone that has been productive lately. Like if we can get 20 DK points at 3.7, I like that. In a game against Orlando, that could be a game that does end up blowing out. Last time we out against Orlando, only got 14 minutes. Wasn't that productive though, just as an FYI. Okay, and now if we were to go ahead and play Looney instead of Sabonis, which I don't love. And guys, I like this build process right here. Like obviously not Ty Jerome, but we are both doing a primary stack, okay? And we're also doing a little bit of a secondary stack as well. So a little bit of an intriguing route there. Okay, so this is another lineup path that I really don't mind. We can go ahead and put in Kevin Huerter in there, who is a good GPP play. 3 out of his last 4 games, really exceeding value. And he also had 22 DK points, in the game against Utah, which still not a bad night. Like obviously we need more than that to take down GPP, but cash purposes wouldn't hurt you as well. So this is a nice way to both do a primary stack and a secondary stack while also maybe playing Looney to have some value in there. All right, that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give a like and subscribe. That helps me continue to be able to put out more content for you guys. It's gonna be a fun day in DFS. Golf is back. NBA's on. We got NFL, college football if you guys are into that. So a lot of fun for the sports fans today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys keep cashing. All right. Thanks for watching.